is set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. There we go from Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. To return it, here's Tavon Young. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. 3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man, hand him the ball, and let him get upfield and pick up a 1st down.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. That type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Now Winston. Wide open, Gronkowski. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he finds Gronk.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A 1st down throw for Winston. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Justin Madubuike. Able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Throwing on second and long. Winston going up top. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Boswell good with the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Throwing on second and long. Jackson dancing to his left. Room to run past midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Excellent work that time to get free. And for his exploits, he's going to be left with just a 3rd and 3. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had a big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he will have a Ravens first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they go to work on a 1st and goal. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM that always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
For a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On first down, Harris. And he's going to take this ahead. 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 40 now on second down, Winston. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Yeah, great job by our crew on the camera shots. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
On second down, it's Harris. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. To throw, Winston. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Adafe Owe in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Boswell's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
No!
Looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted.
I did not want to throw that.
Patrick, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jameis to throw it. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for fourth.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now, 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. That'll be complete to Dobbins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot,
are you fucking kidding me?
Think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things.
And shutting him off now open field. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. First down, Winston. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Throwing, Winston. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Winston now from the 50. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Adafe Owe in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Steelers send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And I hate to point to that missed field goal from their last drive, but you look at the scoreboard, they would be in the lead if they had that 3.
Well, no doubt those points or those missed points do loom large, but here they're getting a chance for a makeup, aren't they? Almost like my time in school, I was always begging my teachers for a makeup exam. Here's their opportunity now to put those points on the board.
And every point becoming more vital here in the second half. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Jackson on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm looking at this one with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Here's Winston. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Second and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Play action. Now Jackson. Flushed out right. Then he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going for it with Dobbins. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Off the play fake. Winston. Rolling to his right. He's got room to run past the 20. And some room to run now. And all the way up to the 37-yard line.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
You fucking retard!
On the sideline. A big play that time through that for a chain mover. They're all the way to 40 now for 1st and 10. Winston now. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it,
oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Trying to lay one up deep. He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Flush to his right. This will be caught once again by Brown. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors,
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. And some space here. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Jackson. Looking for Andrews again. He's got him this time. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the two-point try. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.